Hi, I'm Skinny Cheeks. Today we will go over the changes, the class skills, class passives, etc. There's not a ton for update 42 Gold Road, but there's a few things here we'll get into. Just do a quick rundown of it. So for the Arcanist, not a lot. Their flail changed a little bit in rank up. It no longer reduces in cost as it ranks up. Instead, the healing increases. So you won't really get much extra healing out of it, but it will cost a bit more. So I guess they felt like having the cost reduction on it was a little bit too much. So it's fair. I mean, Arcanist sustain is incredible anyways, so it's not really that big of a deal, but something to keep in mind there. For Dragonknights, the fiery grip ability here, Chains of Devastation, just a bug fix here where sometimes you'd face the wrong way after you used it. So no balance changes for the Dragonknight. For Necro, they got a couple of buffs. Their Siphon got the damage increased by about 33%. So they're closer to stationary overtime effects rather than being treated as sticky overtime effects. So nice little buff for Siphon there. Won't make a huge difference in the overall damage for Necros, but still nice to see a little buff. Restoring Tether increased the healing per tick of this ability by about 14%. Same reasoning as with the other one. So a little buff for the healing side of things too on Necros. Again, not a ton of balance changes, but a little bit more damage and healing. For Nightblades, they got their shade changed a little bit. The Dark Shade morph now only uses its AoE attack rather than using it once every 5 seconds and then swapping to a single target attack to help add more options for cleave damage in the class. And then they adjusted the visual effects on it to appear as Drain Power rather than Whirlwind. It feels more appropriate for a Nightblade ability. This one is not bad. So now it does improve the Nightblade's AoE damage a little bit. One thing I don't know if they considered though is that now every hit of this will scale with Biting Aura instead of Deadly Aim. And Nightblades pretty much always run Deadly Aim for boss encounters, so you're actually losing some single target damage on your Nightblade here. So it's a little bit of a nerf for your single target DPS. For trash encounters, this is now a must-run skill. It was kind of okay for trash. Now it's a must-run for trash. It is going to be boosted by Biting Aura, which you use in trash anyways. So really nice skill for AoE there. Still a must-run for bosses as well. Definitely not dropping it, but the damage is going to come down a little bit, just a little bit for single target. It's one of the best abilities in the Nightblade's kit though. It's not going to be, you're not going to want to drop it. So just keep in mind you lose a little single target damage. So maybe they could just buff it by 6% overall. And that way it kind of counteracts that weird nerf there. And then it's not really going to be that OP still anyways. I don't know. Overall with Nightblade, I was really hoping, Nightblade and Necro, really. I was hoping to see a bit more. I think they're really being reserved with all of the scribing changes coming. So Nightblade just got kind of gutted when the major Berserk was removed and not really, they didn't really replace it with anything else. So still would love to see something there. I keep going back to it, but I think having something on their Shadowy Disguise ability to have that worth using in PvE would be really cool and done in a way that doesn't increase PvP damage as well. But yeah, that's what the Nightblade got for this patch. For Sorcerers, small change here, but the Blood Magic passive, this is the one that heals you when you cast a Dark Magic ability. So they changed it. You used to have to hit an ability with it, and then you were healed. Now just casting an ability in this line will heal you. So a little bit easier to, I guess, guarantee that you're getting a heal on each cast. Also, I think Crystal Weapon, you benefited twice from it from one cast, so probably won't be the case anymore here. Templar, Spear Shards. Blazing Spear now has an Immobilize on it for 4 seconds. This was done to give tanks a tool for immobilization, kind of like DKs have their Talons. I mean, it's kind of weird that it went on this morph and not the support morph, since if a tank is using it, I don't know. That was a little strange to me. I guess it's nice that they have an Immobilize, but I don't know how much this is really gonna change things for Templar tanking. Just a bug fix with Sun Shield and a bug fix with Restoring Aura. So not a lot with Templar here either. No DPS changes. For Warden, this is actually kind of juicy. They got a pretty good one. Animal Companions, their Betty Netch ability. This ability and its morphs now also increase your damage done by 5% for 5 seconds if no negative effect was removed from the ability. In order to help the Warden's damage production without rocking the boat too much in PvP, where they're already plenty strong, we're adding a conditional bonus that will mainly activate in PvE. We're also trying to add more sources of damage to their damage focus line, so we can slowly look at shifting damage out of their tanking focus line. I'll get to that in a second, but overall this is really nice. So 5% damage done for casting a really long-lasting ability is that's good damage to add in to the kit. And it's a sustain tool as well. The blue netch gives you magicka, the green one gives you stamina. So it's really, I think, a creative way to kind of help with their sustain and damage in one by putting damage on their sustain skill. So I like this one a lot. I've seen Wardens already using it on the PTS, getting good results. And yeah, just overall a good change. And then in PvP, where it's removing effects every 5 seconds, most of the time it's probably going to remove an effect, so you're not really going to benefit from that part as much. But for PvE, most of the time there's nothing to remove, and you'll benefit from this part more. So yeah, good change. I think I think it was a creative way to handle that, and yeah, I like it. I did want to talk about the last line here though. Trying to add more sources of damage to their damage focus skill line, so we can slowly look at shifting damage out of their tanking focus skill line. I really don't like this kind of design with the classes. I mean, it works for Arcanist, I guess, since their theme is just like all throughout their skill lines. But I think when you have a class that has very defined skill lines by themes, it's way more fun to have different roles within each of those lines. Like, people really enjoy Frost DPS type stuff. So I don't really see why we need to have these like clear-cut lines for roles within classes skill lines. That doesn't, I don't know. That doesn't really sit well with me. It feels too gamey, I guess, like too formulaic and less organic. Whereas having 3 different skill lines, like, and having stuff kind of weaving in and out of all of them for different roles, I don't know, that's way more interesting to me. And it also lets you, based on the skills you pick, kind of lean into one aspect of the class more than another if you want to. Whereas if you put all the damage in only one skill line for the class, like, that's it. That's your option for like how you play this class and the theme you go with. So I hope they rethink this last one, because that doesn't seem super interesting to me. And I know a lot of people that play Wardens, like, the reason they play it is for the Frost stuff. So I would be careful with that last part. But yeah, that is it for the class changes. Not a whole lot, but a few things there that are interesting. Definitely would like to see more love for Necros and Nightblades. Warden's got a sweet little damage buff there. It's good to see. These don't seem quite as impactful. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the PTS. Thank you for watching. See y'all later. Bye.